Hey there, it's Fiona here, being very human with you today. Why? Because it's great to be alive. The birds are singing, the traffic's humming, people are getting on with it. Well, when I'm feeling happiest with being me, this is the question I ask, and I wonder how you'd answer it. And then that prompts me to wonder about this.
When do you feel most human?
This is the question that I have found hardest to answer. I don't know when I feel most human. I can think of moments that feel great. In recent couple of years, I've started to participate in park run, and I quite like the buzz of connecting with other people outside to just be doing something that's very natural. And yes, it's run, but sometimes there's somebody in a wheelchair. Sometimes there's people who are participating in other ways. There's no pressure to do it at any particular speed. There's great encouragement from people, who are marking out the route. And you feel part of something that's bigger. Feel in touch with your body, feel in touch with people around you, feel in touch with the natural environment.
Well, I always feel most human when I've made some sort of mistake or made some sort of boo-boo, like taking a turn too soon in a car park and scratching the side of the car, things like that. Oh yeah, I feel really human then, for sure. I do feel really human when we're expressing our loves. You always also feel human when I'm expressing anger. But yeah, when we're expressing this relationship with one another, that's when I feel most human.
Maybe the first part is, where do I feel the least human? And that's when I am caught up and so busy and so carried away, and there are so many demands that I don't even feel myself breathing. That's when I feel least human. And where I feel most human is, I think, when I've got time to have real conversations with people, when I've got time to sit quietly with people. And, even those times when I sit with my dog, or I'm tending to my garden, and that sense of inhabiting this, but also living into whatever the deeper part of me is. I think that's where I feel my most human.
So I feel human when I'm creative, with music or with words. I feel human when I'm working in the yard. I feel human when I'm listening to another person's story. But most human is really when I'm with my family and we're delighting in each other.
When I sat with friends who've gone through really difficult things, there was something about just being present to their honesty and their vulnerability, and recognizing that we're not perfect, that we do things wrong sometimes, and that sometimes other people do wrong things to us, but to be able to sit and just sit in that space. I felt deeply human then, and often probably what I feel the most human is when I'm surrounded by community and people who have a relationship with one another and relationship with me. in all different forms. I think all of these kind of make me think about how I can be present. I'm present to people and then I'm present to myself. It really invites me just to, be human. It's often messy, but there's real joy in that messiness. And that, for me, joy and messiness, the joyful messiness is what I think makes me feel most human.
When do I feel most human? That's a lovely question, and it's a delight to be able to answer that question. When I'm out in nature and usually with someone else, but in a way that we're actually focused on the nature rather than each other. So walking through the countryside, and there's a sense of deep connection that comes over me when I do that, that allows me to feel so present that I'm aware of who I am, and at the same time, that sort of sense of awareness, if you like, dissipates. There's a sense of presence that comes over me when I'm in that place, where I become really attentive to the present and then somehow become really aware of who I am. And at the same time, that feeling dissipates as I sort of meld with everything that is.
Every time I feel more human. And I always approach this gently, because if something happened to me, if life is happy, I feel love, and I feel human. Sometimes if life is not going as I expect, I feel down. And both ways I always feel human, because human beings have all this kind of up and down sort of situations. And sometimes, if you are in trouble, in the war zone conflict, and you feel like you are not loved and no one cares about you, you don't feel human. And so love makes us who we are, make us feel human.
I would say I feel most human when I feel most connected. Connected, yes, to other human beings, and I think that relational dimension of human life is absolutely foundational. Connected also to myself as a human being, but also connected to the wider world around me, a world that is full of both wonder and joy, but also a world that is full of pain and suffering. And I think being human is about being in that complex web of connectedness to all of that, to myself, to others, and to the wider world.
So this theme is about beginnings. And we've chatted about origin stories, but also about what it is to be human. Why? I think the link is this. We can talk about the origins of everything, planets, universes, even multiverses, but we are the ones who live in these, last time I checked. Wondering about who we are, really wrestling with that, helps us get to understand what makes each of us our unique selves. It's so much more than a thinking exercise. Wondering about what makes me, me, is like connecting dots. It's like filling in the blanks. It's like painting by numbers. It can bring my story alive. So what do you think about this? Are there origin stories or traditions in your family? Or origin stories for those things that spark joy or passion or delight in you?